There is a hero in the news. She's been amazing, this gal, and she is not effing around. Her name is Tish Hyman, and she is an out lesbian. She is a black woman. She lives in California, and she is the one who got kicked out of Gold's gym, her gym, last week because she objected to a very problematic male pretending to be a woman in her locker room. Gold's handled it all the wrong way. Unfortunately for all of us, they handled it because California state law requires any establishment to allow someone to use the locker room or bathroom that aligns with their gender identity. So Gold's was not above board in the way they dealt with this, but unfortunately for Gold's and every other business in California, they really don't have a lot of choice. They have to let these losers hang out in female spaces. Great job, Californians. Great job. Anyway, Tish is just amazing, and she is now a woman on a mission. She's a total ball buster. I'm in love with this gal. She's just so fierce. So she decides to show up to the first public campaign interview given by the disgusting, horrific, awful Scott Wiener. Don't vote for him. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. If you are in California and in Nancy Pelosi's district where he's running for her soon-to-be vacant seat, please vote for anyone other than Scott Wiener. He is the worst politician in America. He is my number one most loathed politician. There's no one who's done more to trans children than this man. No one. I'm telling you, he's very strange. He's very creepy. There's something about this guy that really creeps me out. And Tish, showed up at his event and decided to ask some questions. We've butted a bunch of the exchanges together. Let's watch them. Here they are.
As a lesbian woman who was attacked in a woman's locker room at Gold's Gym this week by a self-identifying trans woman with a documented history of domestic violence, I'm deeply concerned about women's safety in female-only spaces. What would you say to women who are seeking assurance that their safety will be protected from men who, by California law, can self-ID as women in women-only spaces, sir? Please tell me.
Yeah, so we want, everyone to be safe, and we also know that, we have trans people, both men and women, who are men and women, and so, so if you're trans women are women.
And I'm telling you as a woman, first and foremost, that this is dangerous and we need your help because you're in the office, you're gonna go in the Polisky spot. I wanna support you. I have millions of people behind me watching this right now. And we wanna know, are you going to protect women? Not trans women, women. Trans women are different things. Women. Listen, we need to protect women's safety. I was assaulted.
Women are women.
I was assaulted. No, they are not. They are men. I was assaulted by men. He broke his wife's jaw so bad she needed reconstructive surgery. I'm a lesbian. I'm not transphobic and I'm black. So if there's another black woman in here who wants to tell me how they feel, please join in. But all of you are not. And I don't know who you are, what you are, but I'm a lesbian, and I'm telling you right now, men are harassing women in the locker room.
Let's let him answer the question.
Yes.
I'm just telling you, since y'all want to woo.
No, just let's.
Now I'm done. And by the way, I respect what you have done. I just want to let you know that.
Let's give the senator the opportunity.
I'm done.
I appreciate your point of view.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry that you were harassed,
Multiple times.
and I appreciate you talking about it. I think we need to protect the safety of all women, and that obviously that's incredibly important. And I also know that trans women are also brutalized in this country. So women and cisgender women are brutalized in this country, and we have to protect the safety of all women.
We have to protect women. We cannot be raped in the bathrooms by men that want to say they're women. They're not women. They're not women. I'm leaving. It's okay, but I'm not going to take it. I am leaving because you know what? You guys are not protecting women. You're doing a lot. The bills that you're passing for the law, I read a lot of them. They're great. But this things with the trans, it's not right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's like having a view into what's happening on Saturn. I don't understand this community. It's San Francisco. I get it. But how are these LGBs not realizing that the TQs are bizarre, are not part of the same universe, are undermining their youth. They're trying to convert little gay boys into girls because they otherize homosexuality as something that's so disgusting. They have to erase it by turning a gay boy into a female. They're the enemy. And Scott Wiener is the enemy. He's never seen a child who he wouldn't trans if the kid expresses a modicum of gender confusion. That's clear to me from reading this guy's bills and seeing the way he's behaved in California. He's disgusting. And she goes out there to confront him. And at every turn, Batya, we want everyone to be safe. Everyone, not women. That's not the issue. We want everyone to be safe. We have trans men and women who are men and women. And then he doubles down. Trans women are women, he says to her. No, they're not. They're men pretending to be us, which he knows but won't admit. Then he goes on. She says, are you going to protect women? He said, and then the crowd starts booing. She said, they're different. The crowd starts booing. And once again, women are not the same as trans women, she says, and he rejects that. Saying we have to protect the safety of everyone, and then highlights the fact that trans women are brutalized in this country. That's the issue. It's what's happening to the trans women, not the real women who actually are being attacked, harassed, and in some cases sexually assaulted by these perverted men pretending to be us in order, in many cases, to gain access to us in vulnerable spaces.
This clip was so therapeutic to watch because it played out exactly as you would have wanted it to, right? At every step, she just spoke the truth. And everybody around her trying to gaslight her, the way they've tried to gaslight the nation, was totally silenced by just the starkness of the truth that she was speaking. She took on that whole room and silenced them for booing her. But Megyn, I also found it very sad, and I'll tell you why. A large part of why she was able to do that is because she was a Black lesbian who likes his housing proposals. So what she was basically saying is, I am from an actually marginalized community that you white boomer progressives recognize that I am oppressed and marginalized. So when I tell you that these trans men are attacking me in the bathroom, you have to listen. And they were forced into submission because of her status as being this like double minority. And on the one hand, she's obviously right. But on the other hand, Megyn, there's something wrong in our nation that if a white man had stood up and said the same thing, he would have been booed out of the room, right? Like nobody would have been able to accept the truth of what he was saying. And I think that there's something about that that's really un-American. It's sort of like anathema to who we are, to where the left will only accept these truths. Not that anybody there really accepted it, but they felt embarrassed to contradict what she was saying. Because as you could tell in that room, the whole room was white, except for her and a Black woman. And
they did shut up.
They did shut up. And when she left, she said to the Black woman, don't let them use our race to transition people, to transition children. She said something along those lines. I do think that the nation was once really sort of enthralled to this view that you can't speak out against the transitioning of children, trans people in women's bathrooms and women's sports. But now, Megyn, I think it's very obvious that this is an 80-20 issue and that the nation is where this woman Tish is at and not where this Weiner is. And I have to say, Megyn, a lot of that is because of you, because you really have been such a strong but also intelligent voice on this and doing exactly the thing I'm describing, which is saying, like, it is radicalizing to tell people not to trust what they see with their own eyes. You cannot tell a nation they have to pretend. You cannot tell a nation that they have to force their daughters into this. And I have to say, I had a very similar reaction when the Olympics came out and finally said, no, we're not going to have trans people in women's sports anymore. My first reaction was relief, and my second was horror and shame that we forced girls, young girls, to fight that fight for us as a civilization, to be at the forefront of that fight until finally they won. That we forced people like Riley Gaines, girls, children in girls' locker rooms to be the face of that fight. Not you, Megyn, because you always had their back, but that a whole, half the country was sort of like, no, actually, like the trans women are the women, right? And I'm glad that it's won. It seems to me kind of like the gay marriage fight. It's won. It's over. Like we won, right? Like the right side of those two issues won. Like the country is very pro-gay and like really not into this, trans extremism. But I do feel that this is going to be a kind of enduring stain that for so long, young girls had to fight this fight by themselves.
Totally agree with every word. It's been so upsetting. The IOC definitely floating a trial balloon, at least this week, suggesting it's going to restore sanity. It's not official yet, but it looks good that they're going to stop this as opposed to leaving it up to individual sports like boxing, which did such a good job of protecting actual women at the last Olympics. But you're right. Think of all the carnage left in the wake. And I think it's very interesting that Tish, as she was standing up there, was wearing an XXXY sweatshirt. That's Jennifer Say's brand, S-E-Y, Jennifer Say, former chief, one of the top chief executives at Levi's, who got pushed out because she stood up against the COVID insanity and objected in this same district, I think she was in San Francisco, to the lockdowns that affected children, saying that this is very damaging for children and children are not the problem. We should not be locking schools down and keeping the kids out of school. And for that, she lost her whole career. She was a lifelong, very successful, very storied gymnast who participated in the Olympics and all sorts of World Cup games or World Games. And she's made this her mission to try to protect young girls too. And I love seeing her in Jennifer's sweatshirt, standing up there saying what's real. It's the one time of year that Birch Gold Group gives away free gold with every qualifying purchase. That's right, for Black Friday, when you convert an existing IRA or 401k in whole or in part into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold, Birch Gold will send free gold to your home for every $20,000 purchased. Gold started this year around $2,600 an ounce. By October, it was over $4,000 an ounce. Why? Global uncertainty. 2025 has been defined by trade wars. Central banks are pulling from the U.S. dollar as the global reserve currency, and military tension continues to build. Gold thrives in times of uncertainty, and if you are looking to diversify your savings, Birch Gold can help you. Plus, now through November 30th, get free gold with a qualifying purchase. Just text MK to the number 989898 to claim your eligibility and for our free info kit on gold. But your opportunity for free gold with purchase will end on November 30th. So don't wait. Text MK to the number 989898 for full details. Message and data rates may apply. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.